I didn't think it would be possible to be any sicker than I was or am. But then I woke up. And I was having a good morning. It's a snow day. So I didn't have to get up early. I didn't have to get up at my normal 6 o'clock. So then around 8:30, grab a cup of coffee. And then about 8:49, the day that will live in infamy, I get a ping on my phone. The message from John Mara. I was like, anytime you get a message from John Mara on your phone at 8:49 in the morning, you know it can't be good. And I sat there and said to myself, what did John Mara want? He can't be saying anything that's going to be like stupid. And I love it because John Mara will take the heat if Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll get themselves fired after 2025. This motherfucker hasn't taken the heat for anything. Really hasn't. And I love it. He called it the best course of action. He went 7-2, 2-5-1, 6-11, 3-14. You take a look at the home schedule we have next year. We're not winning a game at home. We didn't win a game in the division. I love this. Everyone's like, we have this plethora of cap space. We have all this cap space in the world. We have no quarterback. Wait for it. And 30 free agents. Out of a 54-man roster, we have 30 free agents and no quarterback. And we have 2 quarterback-hungry teams above us in the draft. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on Travis Hunter yet. I think he's too thin to be a stand-up corner. He plays the run like Dion did. And Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll were the brain trust that said, you know what we can do? We can make Daniel Jones a quarterback. This is Daniel's year. You don't pay a $45 million quarterback to hand off to a $12 million running back who went over for 2,000 yards. Every move that Joe Schoen has made has been a mistake. Everyone talks about Drew Phillips, but no one wants to talk about the facts. Yeah, Drew Phillips got an interception, but the league is completing 80% of his passes against him for like 10.6 yards. Everyone's like, well, he's got all these tackles. Yeah, because when you give up all these fucking completions, you better make the tackle. Looking at you, Aaron Robinson. Oh, no, I'm not looking at Aaron Robinson because he's off the roster. The New England Patriots fired Mayo. Fired Gerard Mayo. After one season, he came out and he told the team, he came out to the press and said his team is soft, all this wonderful stuff. They have Drake May. They went to Joe Milton in the game because they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We got to go for the tank and try to get that pick. But you know what Joe Milton did?
Gotta get to work. That's right.
Yes.
Come on. My name is Willie. I keep the ladies screaming, and all my fans got screaming. You can defeat me. You're dreaming.
He pulls a Willie Beeman, 2 touchdowns, runs one in for 3 touchdowns. Hey, Mr. Authentic, doesn't look that bad, huh? Remember that little video you made about me making fun of me with Joe Milton? So he fires Mayo because he was told that he lost or he's losing the fan base. So they fired Jordan Mayo. This giant shit show, we're going to stay the course. But what's the course that we're staying? I don't get it. We're going to, excuse me, we're rebuilding the rebuild of the rebuild. Now that the season is over, we felt it's necessary to make this statement. Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll will continue their retrospective roles in the organization As disappointing as the result of the season have been, Steve, Tish, and I remain confident in the process that Joe and Brian implemented with their vision for our team. Their vision was to make the team worse every year. We look forward to achieving the results we all desire. I already sent an email to the Giant Ticket Office. Basically what I wrote, fuck you very much. I will go spend my thousands upon thousands of dollars elsewhere. Sincerely, I ain't showing up in 2025. We saw a window into the soul during Hard Knocks. Mr. Damian Jackson, welcome for being an old OG member for the last 15 months. We saw we saw the product they put on the field. It's gotten steadily worse. The talent on this roster has gotten steadily worse. You're going to probably get rid of Evan, not pick up the fifth-year option of Evan Neal. In all stupidity, you're probably going to pick it up on Kayvon Thibodeau, but it's not worth it. I do want to apologize to Brian Burns. I said he was going to be an 8-sack guy. We paid $120 million for an 8-sack guy. No, he's an 8.5-sack guy. And what really pisses me off, the Eagles are playing the Packers. My two teams this year are colliding in Philadelphia. Jordan Love's got the elbow issue. Yeah, I'm wearing a number 2 Malik Willis Green Bay Packer jersey. So now I might have to watch. I might have to go to Philadelphia and watch. I don't know who to root for. I don't know what jersey. I really don't know what jersey to wear. Do I wear Barkley? Do I wear Willis? Do I wear McKinney? Do I wear my Cooper DeJean jersey? I don't know. And you're right. You're right, Green. It's Barkley versus McKinney. Who got another reception yesterday? Stupidity follows this team like stench on shit. Let's be honest. Like stench on shit. That's how stupidity follows this team. We're going to go into year 4 and have people that have no sense draft a quarterback. We have a desperate general manager and head coach. What could possibly go wrong? Brian Daboll, 3rd and 7. Let's run the ball. Brian Daboll, 3rd and 8. Let's run the ball. Brian Daboll, 5 and 8. 3rd and 9. Let's run the ball. It's Kevin Gilbride. Don't run the draw. 4th and 7 from the Eagles, 49. He goes for it. The offense got worse under Brian Daboll than Jason Garrett or Mike Kafka. It's gotten worse the last year and a half. We thought so much of Daniel Jones. We let him go. He's been in with the Vikings for over a month. He can't even get off the fucking practice squad. All the Vikings had to do was add Daniel Jones to the active roster yesterday. And when he leaves, they get a compensatory pick. He's so bad, they didn't even want to do that. They didn't even want to risk that. That dark friend says, I'm rooting for the Packers, hardcore McKinney. Think about it. The number 26 Lions jersey look good. I mean, I might get a Lions jersey. Right now, like I said, right now I'm torn. Because if Love's elbow isn't healthy, it's Malik. Packers losing yesterday. What does Malik Willis do?
Gotta get to work.
Takes the Packers, gets him in the position. 40-something seconds left. He's got him up like 2. After they were losing the entire game. And then the defense gives up the big yards. When you're mired in mediocrity, what are you supposed to do? When you continuously make the same mistakes over and over again by like not hitting the like button, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. I literally don't know. And John Mara wants us to keep coming back and giving him money to go to this game, to do this. That's what he wants us to do. He thinks the fact that we're stupid. And I love it because he's also going to think the fact that, well, you know, we're staying the course because we don't want to be the one of those franchises that gets rid of people so quickly. You held on to Eli Manning too long. We're all honest about that. You hold on to Daniel Jones too long. We're all honest about that. You are now hanging on to Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll too long, where the rest of the league knows that you should get rid of them. But in your infinite wisdom, I don't want to be that guy that just fires people. You're firing them in going into year 4. So, like I said, I sent an email today, just saying I'm done. I don't want to play no more. I don't want to play anymore. I'm done. Because John Mara looked at the fan base and said, "Fuck you!" That's what he did. He gave us all the middle finger. That's all he did. What does everyone have to say? Anyone have anything good to say? Let's see what everyone has to say. We'll try to go up to the top here. Alrighty, here we go. Damn, I really thought Brian Burns was going to be the GM and Evan Neal this year would be the new head coach. Well, there's always next year. More like Kayvon and Evan overall, who could screw up for him? I mean, think about it. People say I'm a genius, but who could screw up 5 and 7? Same guy that screwed up Barkley, McKinney, and Love. Hell, even Matt from Connecticut has been playing well. Will Hernandez, except for this year, found his stride in the desert. The Dark Friend said, man, F us, I guess, Mara. Yeah, that's what he said. Todd Taylor says, you can screw up 3. Joe Schoen is about to, but I think he's about to draft a 4th round level quarterback on the 3rd overall pick. But him on a horrible team to be screwed for another decade. Show enough. Am I the meanest? Show enough. Kiss my Converse, John Mara, because I'm the fuck out. Christian said, I see the Titans and Browns will be willing to trade down. Look at how much Browns are paying their quarterback. I can see them wanting Hunter, though. We'll see. What's Pete throughout to say? Hey, Tim, I thought the day DJ got cut was a national holiday and signs that were making sense. I guess we were wrong. Very sad day. 100%. The question is, how much are they willing to give up? That is the question. Michael says, Tim, what about drafting Hunter number 1? Trade number 2 for McCarthy. McCarthy's not leaving Minnesota. And I'm not picking on you, Michael. There's these there are these stupid rumors out there, and it's always from Chat Sports because they're a bunch of fucking morons and idiots that just make shit up. Like John Gruden's coming here. And we're bringing all these free agents in. Minnesota's not going to give up. And they're not going to take a guy in the first round and then have a number, give up just for a second. Mr. Jackson says, all right, let's see. Are other season ticket holders not buying them as well? I don't know. I really don't know. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know. I'm just done. They broke me. I lived through the Andy Robustella era. I lived through the end of the Ray Perkins regime, the 3-12-1. I lived through the bad drafts, the stupid drafts, the inability to field the team. I was there in 76 when they opened the Meadowlands, and we lost to the Dallas Cowboys. I was there for Craig Morton. I've told the story a million times before. Grandmother got me a Craig Morton jersey for Christmas, and I cried. I've seen it all. But I have never seen this. I've literally never seen this. And we thought it was bad. I was there for the Miracle of the Meadowlands. I was there for Herm Edwards. I laughed because I went to this is years back. I went to an Eagles game, and I saw Herm Edwards because we were in the suites, and I saw Herm Edwards, and I actually went up to him and told him I'm a Giant fan. And I said I always told people if I ever saw you, I was going to punch you in the back of the head. Gonna say it once, I'm gonna say it again. The holding cells in the old Veterans Stadium weren't that nice. The holding cells at the Link, very nice. I don't know though. I don't know what other season ticket holders are gonna do. Blackbird says Vanilla lock. One last week against the Colts. Oh my God, we would have lost. Thomas just said he's running out of patience with the organization being so bad. Joe, you run the organization. I love that too. I saw that. You're in charge, motherfucker. Bruce says Mara's loser. Brian Burns, our star defensive end. Well, you got to listen. You got to look at all the pressures and everything. I'm going to do my.
I'm going to do my best, Carl Banks.
Let's do our best, Carl Banks, because Carl Banks tells us all the little insights and things that we don't know as fans because we're stupid.
Yeah, because you're stupid, man. Listen, Brian Burns, the pressures, everything else.
I don't know. I can't even do it. I can't deal with him. Mr. Taz, what about Brian Burns and his almost 8-9 sack? Mighty sucks. Mr. Taz, do you guys need another Eagle content creator? What about Hendon Hooker? He's probably better than the quarterback in this draft. Great, they're not giving up on Hendon Hooker yet. I know Teddy Bridgewater came back, but they're not giving up on Hendon Hooker. We're in football purgatory. Yes, we are. Wasted dead money on a head coach and general manager. You're right. You're not wrong here. What does Jennifer have to say? Jennifer, it could be obvious that Mara wanted Jones to succeed, that he hired this general manager and able to prove his vision that Jones is another Eli. That's why he is eating crow now. Yeah. Man, I've never been so upset. Can't believe this shit. Greg, I can't either. I literally can't either. McKinney wins this time. I hope so. Are you going live Sunday for my 23rd birthday? Well, you know what? I wasn't, but for you, I will. Live stream on Sunday. Mike Lee says, keeping the brain trust actually makes sense. How long did he stick with DJ? Only 6 years. Only 6 years. Joe Shane is poor management. I just love people, though. We have all this cap space. We have 30 free agents and no quarterback on the roster. So, yeah, when you have 30 free agents and no quarterbacks on the roster, you're always welcome. Bandwaggers in Philly, you just need to do the initiation. Grease the lightning pole for you to climb. Listen, I go back to Ron Jaworski. I go back to Mike Quick, Wilbert Montgomery's moves. You probably don't even know the 12 days of Christmas that the Eagles did back in the 80s with Bill Berge crashing. Wilbert Montgomery's moves. Clyde Simmons, Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Seth Joyner. Should I continue to go on naming Eagles? When you're stuck here, Harold Carmichael, when you're stuck in Eagle land, you learn a lot about the Eagles. Mr. McCormick says, hey, Tim, why is Bad Dog still talking about signing O-line? For who? I guess Bad Dog has a show with 3 other people because James Williams was telling me about it. And I think the funniest shit that I ever heard was he goes, it's like watching the Super Friends, just really corny and not giving out any actual information. I have to watch it now. I have to watch the Super Friends. Hold on. Okay, all right. Bill Berge crashing. What about the mighty Dane Belton? I had the thumbnail the other day because I just loved it. Because I had on the thumbnail was Dane Belton giving up the touchdown. I thought so have I, Jack Reacher. I don't know why you're coming up. Oh my goodness. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I don't want J.J. McCarthy coming out of the draft. I thought you'd be a reach. And I love it because, to your point, Blackburn, so many people thought J.J. McCarthy would have been a reach in this draft, Giant fans. And now Giant fans want to trade for him. Remember, we only had DJ's free because he quit. He'd be with us if Shane and Mara and Daboll had their choice. Imagine this. Imagine this. A world of sight and sound. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Imagine this. You didn't give $120 million to Brian Burns. You didn't give $160 to the likes of Daniel Jones. You didn't drop $10 million on Darren Waller. You didn't make any of these moves, and you actually could have some talent on the team. White and Brown did die way too early. White, of course, with a heart attack, and Brian and Jerome Brown in that car accident with his nephew. I can see the Giants sign a free agent like Sam Darnold after one good year. It's a Giant way. That's what they should do. Michael says, Tim, we hit rock bottom. A new franchise quarterback will bring us back. You got to have faith in being a Giants fan. I've had faith since 1976. I have. Then the 3 Giant Super Bowls. I've watched terrible teams. But here's the problem. How can you continuously have faith when you keep making the same mistakes repeatedly? It's not about faith anymore. Because you got to have faith. It's not about faith anymore. It's about just not wanting to do this over and over again. I can't stand the fans who still believe every other team has a perfect O-line and their quarterback never gets pressured. Yeah, I know too. I might start watching NASCAR on Sundays. Why not? Not going to lie. I like Sirianni, but I sincerely do miss Buddy Ryan. You know, Buddy Ryan got in that fight with Kevin Gilbride in Tennessee and with the Titans. Oh, not Titans, the Oilers. Buddy Ryan and the Bounty Gate. I liked Buddy Ryan too. It was a great Buddy Ryan and Bill Parcells and everyone. That was a great era in football. At a certain point, when you need to wake up and realize a good quarterback makes an offensive line better, I agree. Good quarterback makes the whole team better. Someone tell Joe Shane that. The Super Friends without any superpowers. Giants told the Chicago Bears, hold my bear, clown show. Caleb Williams has been sacked 68 times. I think it's probably 70-something after the Packer game. But he still is a better quarterback than anything we have on the roster the last 10 years. Greg, you all right? No, everyone's not. Miguel says, I thought Penix was the 4th best quarterback last year. I'd taken him and McConkey. I said it all the time last year. This was the draft to fix the offense. You literally could have drafted a quarterback, traded out. I said it before, trade out of 6, pick up Penix, trade either back into the second round or back to the first round, or take that second round pick and grab a wide receiver. And I said you can either take like Brian Thomas Jr. or Keenan Coleman, and you would have your quarterback of the future. This isn't the draft. Get it right. Hit the like. This isn't the draft. This is a draft for defensive linemen and corners. This is not a skill position draft. Screw J.J. McCarthy. Put respect on Penix. That's why I want the Giant draft. I miss the Buddy Ryan fist fights with the opposing coaches all the time. Todd says the only accomplishments the franchise has lately is giving mediocre, broken players like Kenny G and Waller pension contracts. Joseph says we suck. I quit. Joe Shane is my worst nightmare. On a positive note, no. On a positive note, no, our coordinators weren't mentioned in Mara's job security lately. T-Brad, I don't know. We suck again. What's up, T? Penix is way better than JJ. I agree. I wish we had the kind of faith that, that's the thing. People in that building had faith for Saquon Barkley. They did. It's just the general manager didn't. Super fans that now want J.J. McCarthy should be pleased with the retention of the brain trust it moves Wildy Coyote would make. NASCAR has sucked for the last decade. They ruined their championship season. Oh. Herbert will finally win a playoff game. The only more stupider move would be signing Darnold to a big multi-year contract for one good year. I mean, who would do such a thing? Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. I don't have energy for the button 24 hours sarcasm.
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
Ryan did, yeah, but he punched Gilbride in the head over with the Houston Oilers. Tim, you should take Hunter and get a quarterback later. Jalen Milroe. I don't know if he can throw. Jackson Dart, last year's draft, or probably been a 7th round pick. Neighbor said that he's glad Daboll is back. I like Malik Neighbors. I do. But Malik Neighbors needs to take a big tall glass and shut the fuck up. Sorry. Brian Thomas Jr., more yards and a lot less targets. Brock Bowers a tight end. I mean, he did what he needed to do. Lat, you have to think about this. Neighbors was targeted 107 times. Brian Thomas Jr. 133, Marvin Harrison 116, Ladd McConkey 112, Rome 101. Brian Thomas has more yards, more touchdowns, and 40 plus less targets. I knew Daboll keeps his job, and second, I saw him smile from after the Eagles. Yes, outside of 2015, Eli Manning. You're right. Mike says, we are living in a bizarro world. Mara has the scrum and says the roster isn't better. The team sucks. Well, he's confident they're going in the right direction. What's up? T-Brad says, I'm back in America for me today. Welcome back. I heard Penix did a good job. Penix played well yesterday. T-Brad says, you have to use the can't get it right sound effects from the movie Life. That's who the Giants are. Mara comments made no fucking sense. It makes me so angry. Mr. Hartman says, you don't want to watch the Super Friends. It's Bad Dog, Anatina, NYG Fangirl, and Anthony from Firesides. I tried it once or twice. It's not very good. Jalen Milroe isn't better than Malik Willis, who may be starting on Sunday. If Malik Willis starts against my Eagles, I don't know, man. I literally don't know. I'm going to have to cut the jerseys in half. Watson is washed up. He is the top 10 quarterback in 2022. I think Watson's washed up. Travis Hunter. Tim, GM Giants fans, slap that like button and boycott the team. I agree. Greg says, guys, you won't sign Darnold. The Vikings still franchise him for insurance if JJ isn't ready. They're a smart organization. I love Neighbors, but he drops our killers. That's the other thing. Don't drop the ball so you want to run your mouth. That's fine, but don't drop the ball so fucking much either. You have like the second most targets in the NFL with almost no yak. You got the long touchdown against the Philadelphia Eagles Home Depot team, and you still lost. You're a good receiver on a bad team. Let's just say it. Yo. Make sure I said that right. Mr. Kyoto says, remember in Aliens, it's game over, man. What the fuck is supposed to do now, man? What are we supposed to do? Hold on.
That's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
That about sums it up. Did you see Jordan Ron tweeted at Mara, quote, saying basically he isn't sure whether or not the team is better now or when Gettleman got fired? That's worrying. This whole thing is worrying. This whole situation worries me as a Giant fan. Well, ex-Giant fan. Still gonna do the channel. Because I'm gonna give the Giant organization a little help. I'm gonna still do the channel. And I love it because I keep thinking of Step Brothers when they're going into the interviews. And they walk in the lobby and they're like, we're here to fuck shit up. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fuck shit up for you guys because I'm going to call out every pathetic, pitiful move that you make. And I'm going to make sure I sing it to the rooftop. So you know what? You know what you need to do, my friend John?
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
What?
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
You better have your fucking big boy pants on because I'm coming.
That's what she said.
I'm done. For all the people that think I'm mean and negative, I'm going to tell you one thing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Every move, every stupid move you make, I'm going to jump on your ass like Zorro. Thank God for the Knicks. Directions we're heading at the bottom of the barrel. Decomposing at this point in time. What if the Giants trade Eagles for Kenny Pickett? We need to trade him for Tanner. You may have small hands, but he has the right build for the Giants quarterback. Yeah, he's white. Put me out there, coach. Like I said earlier, Mara thinks he can replicate 2022 in the 2020 season. It might be the worst thing that could have happened. 2022 season was the worst thing that ever fucking happened to the Giants. You go 7-2, 2-5-1. No one wants to talk about 2-5-1. Nobody wants to talk about that. But you went 7-2, 2-5-1. It's almost been a decade since we beat Dak. I feel like Malik Neighbors will be the worst next year due to the film. Oh, Malik Neighbors is done next year. Not out of the league. But the league's got film on it now. And it's not like he's got this plethora of moves. Where do we go from here? That's a great question. Where do we go from here? Should we call, I don't know, should we do pack attack? Should we do the Eagles lair?
This town needs an enema.
This town needed one. Take Travis Hunter, a third pick, and draft Jason Jackson. I love it because all of a sudden, all these people were so high on Sanders and Ward, but now that we have the third pick and potentially both could be gone, I see giant content creators people say, well, those two guys suck. I see it now because giant content creators, well, some scouts are saying that Shedeur Sanders wouldn't even be a first-round pick. He's like a third-round pick. He was a first-round pick last year if he came out. Yeah, he's still going to be a first-round pick, guys. Just because you're not getting someone, you don't need to disparage them to the point where you say that they're a third-round pick now because you can't get them. It's worse now. Worse that we literally have no quarterback. Daryl says, I think we get worse that Gettleman is. Oh, we're definitely worse. Full Metal Jacket quote, I'm in a world of shit. Full Metal Jacket quote is you know, it's a shit sandwich, and we're all going to have to take a really big bite. Top pick, the quarterback, and get a number 3. Davey says, what's up, Davey? What made you go to the game last night? Why did you want to inflict more pain into you? Because I'm stupid. I am stupid. I am a stupid moron who went to the game. Sick. Sick. And I still went in 26-degree weather. We went to this year's for Daniel Jones. It seems like Shador says he wants to go to New York. I don't think he's going to say anything different. Elijah Jack says, I don't trust the regime to draft or evaluate talent. The 2022 draft looked like malpractice in hindsight, and they've been reaching for some picks ever since. This year will be the same. Let's go through it real quick again. Let's go through this again. We've done this before. We're going to do this again, though, because I like to inflict pain on the Giant fan base. First draft, Beavers, garbage. McKeithen, garbage. TJ Davidson, backup. McFadden has his moments, but he's just Dane Belton, garbage. Dale Bellinger, garbage. Cordell Fleck, garbage. Joshua Zuda, garbage. Wandale Robinson, 2 yards in a cloud of dust, garbage. Evan Neal, garbage. Kayvon Thibodeau, garbage. Owens, garbage. Riley, garbage. Hawkins, garbage. Eric Gray, garbage. Jalen Hyatt, garbage. JMS, garbage. Deontay Banks, the only one saving. Tracy, let's wait till year 2. Theo Johnson, garbage. Phillips should be a linebacker. Excuse me, Phillips, yeah. Watch a lot of film on Phillips, just don't see it. Tyler Newman should be a linebacker, Malik Neighbors. So he's got basically 3 out of the last whatever. Judge never lost 40-0. You're right. Daniel Jones wasn't even wearing pads last night. That's how bad, we talked about this, how bad Daniel Jones is. All they had to do was dress Daniel Jones. 1 game. They get a compensatory pick when he leaves. They didn't even do that. What coordinators are going to want to come here? It's a black hole. What coach would want to come here? Davis said it might have the big boy pants on, but he's wearing a diaper underneath it. Hey-o. Daboll and Joe did everything possible to get fired. They really did. T-Brad says, conspiracy theories makes me think the Giants keep these guys around to ensure they get a crappy record and get Archie Manning. We got 2 more years before Arch. We don't even know what Archie even is yet. I think I'm going to sleep during the draft because Joe Shane is going to draft. Bob. T-Brad. What's up, T-Brad? Skyline says, every move you make, every vow you break, I'll be watching you. Goes on the soundboard. What's going to go on the soundboard is do something stupid, do something dumb, and I'll be on your ass like Zorro. If Travis is our pick, I'll trade it for a ransom, but I think Joe... Here's the thing. I don't think... Okay, listen. Travis Hunter is an all-world talent. And I've said this before. But the Eagles are still waiting for Devontae Smith to get bigger. Sometimes you have a frame that just doesn't gain weight. Travis Hunter is going to get lit when he tries to make tackles on a tight end or a big running back, because he tackles like Dion. And I think he'll be a really good corner. I think he'll be a great corner in this league. Great cover guy, a Darrelle Revis type guy, Deion Sanders type guy. But don't expect him to come up and support the run. And he's going to get a handful of packages on the offense. But he's not going to be Charles Woodson. Arch Manning time. It was reported weeks ago that the jobs are safe, but they got rid of DJ and were given the okay to tank. They did. Can it get any worse? What's up, James and the Angry Black Man? Malik's sophomore slump might end up as bad as Banks. Oh, I agree. Silver lining, the Giants fans, at least you aren't the Jets. Yeah, I know what the hell was I thinking. We're not the Jets. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat here, so someone can come on here and tell me something good. Here's the link in the chat. I want people to come on and tell me good things. Tell me something good. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Yes, it can. Yeah, it can. Every move you make. We are the Jets. The Jets aspire not to be the Giants. Teams are already catching up on Neighbors after week 4. It's true. It's really not. It's nothing against Neighbors. I think he's an all-world talent, but let's see how hard he works. Listen, I gave him a big break when he went to the concert in concussion protocol. No, like you don't get those breaks anymore, my friend. Now we do the Giants hotline for help. Thoughts on Penn State? No, I don't like the Penn State's quarterback. He's going to stay in school. Even Penn State people don't like the Penn State quarterback. It's like smoking crack.
It's Daniel. Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Don't smoke crack, people. I can't get the. Hold on. Everyone just stop. Oh, tell me why. Manning isn't coming out next year. No, Manning's staying in college. I just keep a thing to Jerry. I just think Jerry Maguire. It's like, do you want this jacket? Because I don't need it. Because I'm cloaked in failure. Those content creators are the same ones that turned on Barkley after the Giants threw him away, and the Eagles picked him up. Nothing but Homer channels. You're right. Ron Wallen says, take Hunter if Sanders and Ward are gone. This is like the worst draft. Not the entirety. 2024 was the 2004 draft where you had Big Ben, Eli, Phillip. It's the 83 draft where you had Elway, Marino, Jim Kelly, even Ken O'Brien had a career. Tony Eason went to a Super Bowl. The only one that really flamed out was Todd Blackledge. And Matt Schwab was also in that 2004 draft. That was the draft to get a quarterback. This is the Kenny Pickett draft from a couple years ago. Can't mess up 5 and 7, guys. That'd be stupid. But Hyatt had 4 touchdown games against Alabama. What happened to the crowd? Davey says, Tim Mara's going to ask us to say, like in an Animal House, thank you, sir. Will we maybe have a number? What's up, Big Roy? Peace. Chat from Indian Land, South Carolina. Big Greg says you get 2 picks inside the top 10. They both sucks. What the fuck does that happen? How does that fucking happen? Hit the like. I'm more worried about my Knicks right now. I got a new Nick video coming out. Because I'm more worried about this. I'm more worried about the Knicks right now. We got 170 people in the chat, only 39 likes. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but
Hey.
Tell me something good, man. Happy New Year, by the way.
Good thing is I'm still in Barbados. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, everybody, if you celebrate those things. But yeah, good news, I'm in Barbados, getting ready to get to the airport and get back to America, right to the snow. Gotta love it.
But, say hello to Mark Thompson.
Hello, Mark Thompson.
He's in Barbados. He lives in.
Yeah, no, I was never able to get in touch with him. So yeah, I'm not sure where he's at. I'm in the St. Peter area, but yeah, I was waiting for the hammer to drop today. I was waiting to hear that Shane was fired. I was more concerned about Shane leaving than Daboll. I felt as though Daboll didn't get a fair shake based on what Joe Shane provided. But if you look at the projections, let's look at it at business, which it is. If you look at the projections, our projections show that the first year we won 9 games. The second year, we won 6 games. The third year, we won 3 games, which I actually predicted preseason. Based on these projections, we should win 0 games next
year. Did you see our home schedule?
No, we're the worst team in the league. When I said at the beginning of the season, we will still be the worst team in the league. And now you got people on a 1 year deal telling them to go out and fix it in 1 year. Good luck. It took them 3 years to mess it up this bad.
Do you want to know our home schedule?
Sure, why not?
I mean, so you have not seen who we are facing at home.
Well, half of it's the NFC East.
Well, half of it is the NFC East, yes. But then the other half is the of course, hold on. It's the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, San Francisco 49ers, Kansas City, and Los Angeles Chargers.
We got to get a win in there somewhere. Win.
Who are you gonna beat? The Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders, the Packers, the Vikings, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Chargers.
Hey man, I don't want to be negative before it already starts. I'm definitely sitting here very pessimistic. I'm very pessimistic. I don't understand. You take somebody who signed possibly probably one of the worst off season in Giants history, especially modern Giants history.
Modern Giant history, yes, because there were some teams in the late 40s and 50s and 60s that
but modern history, the basic way it's set up, this is definitely one of the worst off season. You lose players and you lose Pro Bowl players, and you get nothing for those players. I don't care what you say, you can't justify that as a move. You can't justify that as a move. You signed one of the dumbest contracts in Daniel Jones. Had you taken the same position with Daniel Jones as you took with Barkley, the Giants would be in a better position. Hey, Daniel, go out there and see what you can get. Because if we would have signed Daniel Jones to maybe 15, 20 million a year, we're not that bummed out. Maybe you get the guy some competition in 3 years. Whoa. Maybe you give Daniel Jones, a guy who you're saying you're still trying to see what you got. Maybe you give that guy a competition to see maybe it is him. Maybe it really is him. And I don't know if the Crustable King can get it done. I don't see the Crustable King.
Imagine if you didn't spend $280 million on Daniel Jones and Brian Burns, and you staggered the contracts of Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas instead of doing them in sequence. How much cap space you would have, and how many players you would have kept.
Yeah, but you're trying to do things right though.
The fuck
that's good, but you're trying to do things. You're trying to improve the roster and improve the salary cap. That's not everybody's objective, you know. Yeah, it's not everybody's objective. When they put that up on a mission board, wins and losses and salary cap, I don't think fit into the narrative.
Wait,
they got to trade Kayvon Thibodeau too.
Watch this now. Make it even more sad. What if you didn't draft Daniel Jones? You took Josh Allen. You didn't make the trade with the Bears, and you took Parsons.
We're probably a better team. We're definitely a better team, but we're probably a better team. Matter of fact, when you go back through the list of imagine if you didn't trade a 3rd round pick for Darren Waller. Imagine if you drafted Malik Willis with a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick instead of Cordell Flott. At least you got a young person in there. You're not as desperate for a quarterback. Or imagine if you took Joe Milton late last year. Maybe you're not in panic mode because you got something good to look forward to and you want to see what Joe Milton has. So the first round of the draft isn't, oh my God, we got to get a quarterback. It's, yeah, we got to get a quarterback, but this Joe Milton kid looks pretty good. And if you guys watched the New England game, I know he was going up against backups. He looked good. He looked like if the Giants went in and said, hey, we'll give you a 5th round, 4th rounder.
And didn't look good. That's my thing. I mean, and imagine if you didn't take Wan'Dale 2 yards in a cloud of dust and took George Pickens.
Again, maybe if you do that, maybe wide receiver's not as big as a need last year, and you can take Michael Penix Jr. Hindsight is 20/20, always.
You trade out of 6, you grab Penix, and then you take a wide receiver in the 2nd round like a Keenan Coleman, or trade back up for a Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep, those options are there. Were there.
And you have salary cap money.
Yep. And again, like you said, going backwards, when you talk about not getting Brian Burns, because we traded a 2nd and a 5th for that. So now, and that was an early 2nd. That wasn't the late 2nd. That was the early 2nd.
People forget we also swapped 5th round picks.
Yeah. So we had a chance to make some really killer moves because we're a bad team. We have to fill positions through the draft and through free agency. And through free agency, we just gave away draft picks. Like during the free agent period, we gave away draft picks and salary cap.
Yep.
and sound like a huge deal. I mean, that move is more for a team that's a defensive lineman, a defensive playmaker away.
Right. And
I'm not saying Brian Burns isn't a good player. I'm just saying that contract for this team made 0 sense, giving everything that was available. Are you telling me I could have kept my running back who's leading the league in rushing and kept my safety for that salary? Because it's 98 million. Neither one of them, if you put their salaries together, I don't think they were looking for 98 million.
No.
Right? So there's 98 million spread between 2 Pro Bowlers. So now you get to keep that knowledge in the room, that leadership in the locker room. You get to keep that. You don't have to integrate a new personality or anything of that nature. And you have people who are already there, and you keep a 2nd and a 5th round pick. So maybe you get I don't know where that Jared Verse guy who's doing real good. I don't know where he got selected. Did he get selected in the 2nd round?
I think
if so, could we have got him?
Sure.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Maybe they need to save some money with Joe Schoen. I promise you, I'll do a better job for half the price because there's no way I could do a worse job.
You know what?
That's my sales pitch.
He took 2 defensive backs in the 2nd and 3rd round last year in a draft that was not defensive back laden. Everyone knew that the 2025 draft was going to be full of defensive backs and defensive tackles.
Yep.
And now we're going to wait till 2027 for Arch Manning.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. The worst thing we could do now at this particular position, and I like Cam Ward, and I like Shedeur Sanders. I like both of them as quarterback prospects. I do not want to trade up to get either one of these quarterbacks. And I know people say, if you got your quarterback, you're supposed to go in and get him. You got the quarterback, you go out and get your quarterback. Yeah, that's true. You go out and get your quarterback if you can go out and get your quarterback. But for you to have that position, lose that position, and trade back in to get that position is just stupid.
It's the Joe
I can't
shit.
do it.
It's
I can't do it.
Nice view.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, my in-laws off our balcony here. They got like really good views, especially when the sun sets out there with the ocean and everything. The view is beautiful.
Well, wait till you get back to the snow.
You know what? I'm willing to wait.
Well, your flight's not going to get delayed because it's not snowing that bad.
That's what I like to hear. I don't get into like Tuesday late early in the morning, like Tuesday night late. But we'll see what happens.
You'll be fine. I'm not worried.
I'll be better than the Giants.
Tell me something good though about the Giants. Just
well, at worst point, they will get Travis Hunter. Like, good thing is this draft was pretty solid. Last draft was pretty solid. I guess they found some sort of camaraderie rallying together. My advice to Joe Schoen is please listen to your staff a little bit more. Listen to your staff more because your staff really tried to get you from blundering last year. And you're like, yeah. You sat there and you listened the whole entire time and just did your own thing. Listen to your staff and execute the plan that your staff is asking you for because it just works better. If you go to a go ahead.
Do you think that's an interesting point? Do you think they fire anyone on his staff?
If they've been undermining them, yeah. If they've been undermining them in the media. You said what?
Kind of shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, I think the defensive coordinator could be out of there. But again, if you're keeping one, just keep them all. Somebody's got to get fired because somebody has to say, yeah, we sucked and it wasn't my fault. So somebody's getting fired. I don't care if it's the equipment manager. Somebody's getting fired.
Somebody has to.
You don't have a 3-13 team to say, you know what? We're going to bring everything back the same exact way. It's the only way for us to get better.
I don't want to tell you this, but we're a 3-14 team.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's easier to count the wins than the losses.
Yeah, because getting up to 14 is pretty high. I get stuck at 11.
Yeah. I got socks on. I can't count that high.
Just wait till we go to the 18 game schedule.
Oh man, I really would. The only cherry on top would have been Saquon winning that rushing record. But yeah, the Giants. I think Malik Neighbors is a player, but now you're forced to get a quarterback, and I think you have to do it through the draft and free agency. The best thing about yesterday was New England won, and we'll do no worse than Travis Hunter. But I don't know if Travis Hunter even fits in. What are you gonna put him at? Wide receiver, cornerback? At least Will Johnson has a defined position, but that type of talent like Travis Hunter, you just put him in and play.
I got to put him at corner. Years ago, I'm going to bring up a rookie quarterback scenario. Years ago, the Giants had the best wide receiver they had ever had. And some guy named OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted a quarterback, and they traded OBJ away because of the fact that they felt that they did not want to have his presence around a rookie quarterback. He was going to be, even though he's an all-world talent, he was going to be a disruption. Because if he didn't get the ball, they afraid he was going to run his mouth. They just gave him the 80-something million dollars, and they got rid of him because they were afraid that if he started showing up the rookie quarterback, things would go bad. We've seen Malik Neighbors' attitude. What happens if Malik Neighbors does not get the ball? He has the most targets in the league, and we have a rookie quarterback.
If he has the most target, if he's got a lot of targets, I think he'll be fine.
Well, I should rephrase that. Does not have the most targets in the league like he did this year.
Well, I'll say this: winning solves everything. That's first off.
Well, we're not going to win.
We'll see.
We're not winning.
Secondly, I know that. Secondly, I don't think the next quarterback that is going to get the princess white glove treatment that Daniel Jones got. I've never seen a rookie quarterback come in and do so little and get so much grace and understanding, and it's not his fault. I've never seen that. We got people ready to move on from Deontay Banks and after his second year. And I'm like, yeah, he's playing bad, but so is the whole defense. Yeah, we need to get rid of Banks. I'm like, you guys weren't like this with Daniel Jones. He stayed for 6 years. So whoever comes in
for the top safety help, because Pinnock and Dane Beltner just got awful.
Yeah, my thing is, if Daniel Jones was there and they didn't make any moves, definitely Neighbors is one of those type of people like, yo, you're not going to keep me here losing. And you trying to tell me this guy is the leader and I'm better at my job than him. Malik Neighbors is not a Saquon Barkley. He's not going to kumbaya and try to bring everything together and not put anything out in the media. He's one of these young, passionate, confident kids, and he's not going to fake it for anybody. That's the part of the business he's not going to do, and that's just how he's built. So if they brought it back like that, yeah, you would see him acting out because he wants to win. Like, you shouldn't be happy and complacent when you're losing. And he's gonna try to, make some waves. So I disagree with us trading OBJ too, because OBJ, you got rid of OBJ and you replaced him with what's his name? Oh my God, Gates? Not Gates. What's the guy's name?
Hey,
Golden Tate. You replace him with Golden Tate. So you're telling me the best you could do by your quarterback is get rid of the number one weapon? Because mind you, when OBJ was there, that's how Saquon Barkley got the rookie of the year, because everybody's still worried about, not saying Barkley's not a talent, but with OBJ there, it opens the game up for Barkley. If he would have been there when Daniel Jones got there, the best thing it would have been was to keep OBJ. That way, guess what, Daniel Jones, you have a stud wide receiver to throw to, which in his defense, he never really had a stud wide receiver. So you give him that option, and then you put the best materials around for him to do the job he can do. We
got Big James, of course, here as well.
Angry black man.
Here's the question I have for both of you. Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. One of them may get drafted as a Giant quarterback. You've said, T. Brad, that they are not going to get the Disney princess treatment. and have this
At all.
luxury all these years.
No.
Giants have drafted one black quarterback in Andre Woodson. Does it lend any credence to the fact that the Giants may have an issue with drafting or having black quarterbacks if all of a sudden Shador or Cam gets 2 years and you gave Daniel Jones the magic bus not only 6 years but $160 million contract after basically going 7-2?
Is it a concern?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's expected, so I'm not concerned. I mean, the pressure is going to be on whoever comes here has to be built like Ford tough. You got to really have thick skin because, first of all, it's New York. Everybody's got something to say. A lot of people here, because a lot of people talk about Giants management. There's a lot of Giants fans that don't want them to draft a quarterback specifically because they are black. Let's not just put this on the Mariners. Anybody who says that the Giants are racist, you tell me what's a more prestigious position, a general manager or a quarterback? We've had a black general manager.
Wait, before you go after the fans, it's almost like you're telling me that we had like some kind of semi-mediocre white Italian quarterback that everyone just freaked out over.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. And the thing is, you see what they did to Tyrod Taylor. He outshined Daniel Jones. They got rid of him immediately. Get Drew Lock in here, damn it. Can't get that Tyrod Taylor guy in here. And he's an OG QB, the type of guy you need to develop a young quarterback in the locker room. Where you gonna get a rookie quarterback, have Drew Lock and be like, look, this is how I used to do it. You're on the bench for a reason. I don't want to listen to you. But yeah, I think I know how it is. And the thing is, this isn't specifically a Giants thing. It's like anything else in life. Unfortunately, if I could talk a little real, it's like anything else in life. You give the black person the first one that opportunity, that rope is thin. So you better be successful quick. You better be able to adapt and be successful quick because you're not going to get the same style and grace and limitations as everybody else. And Daniel Jones, black, white, or indifferent, I've never seen any quarterback, white or black, get the type of treatment that Daniel Jones got for that long.
Amen.
So being that we're losing, I don't see anything. I don't see any grace given for us losing unless they have statistics that are, hey, I threw for 4,035 touchdowns. If their statistics match up and they're losing games, then hey, we're just not there yet. The defense, we got to pull some things together. But if he plays like Daniel Jones played, nobody's going to be talking about the offensive line. Nobody's going to be talking about the offensive line because when you talk about Shador Sanders now, you hear people like, oh, he sucks. He's sacked all up. I'm like, yeah, but he also plays behind a terrible line. You guys don't see that part of it. But take it, angry black man. I got to get ready to start putting my bags on the scale.
All right,
take it away, angry black man. All right, brothers. It's good talking to you.
We
all right, brother.
Safe travels back, my friend.
Peace, brothers.
Yeah, be safe.
James, things are so bad they literally had to lock you up. I see you're in a cage.
With
a red flashing light behind you.
You see it, right? That's the let them know. No, he's inside. Don't open it.
Don't open the gate.
Don't open. When it's green, then it's safe. But when it's blinking like that, red and yellow, it's no good. No good. No bueno.
Briefly talked to you this morning before the stream, and I don't know, man. What is the James Williams perspective on this?
The one thing I will tack on, because everything T-Brad said is right, but I do think that Sanders would benefit more because he has a very vocal father who does have respect in the, a certain amount of respect in the football world. He is a Hall of Famer, played in the NFL. He is a coach. And I think that having his voice there, the Giants wouldn't be able to kind of curtail him the way they would be able to do a Cam Ward. I'm afraid, Cam Ward, even though Cam Ward, in a lot of ways, he may be better for us, but I think Shador has the moxie with Dion, and then they have the star power that the Giants wouldn't be able to just do a 1.5 year, 2 year deal and be like, oh, we got to move on from this guy because again, the team is bad. We have a lot of holes, we do, but at the same time, car don't move without an engine, and we need a quarterback. And T. Brad said it. I'll just say one thing because I don't want to harp on it. I talk about it enough. You are one of the few people out here who actually speak about it and allow us to come on here and speak about it. But I wonder how people would feel if Carson Beck and Quentin Ewers were the top 2 quarterbacks and we were sitting here at 3. I wonder how many people would be shouting, "Oh, we need to get one of those guys," instead of like, well, Shedeur played bad in his last game. Think about Shedeur played bad in his last game, and people are saying we shouldn't draft him. He didn't look good. Meanwhile, we drafted a kid because he looked good in the Senior Bowl.
Greg, call. What time is it? What time is your time?
6 o'clock.
So you are 6 hours ahead.
What up, Greg?
What's up, man? Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, man.
We James, you can see, is utterly depressed.
I am. I'm actually quite sad.
I don't think I've seen James this down. James, are you wearing a Denver Broncos hat?
No, I'm wearing my Knicks hat.
All right. I was like, he's got a Denver Broncos hat on. Greg, break James' depression. Tell us something good. It's not a good start.
As I was saying, that's
not a good start. It's like, come on, Greg.
At least we had the number 3 pick. That's about it. I don't see any future forward. I don't see any vision, any lucid vision. Everything is cloudy, man. I don't get it. Like I said, we are a 3 football team. I called it last time when James was on here preseason. And everyone said 3 wins, Greg. That's too many. I can't believe this.
Wins. I said 4 to 5. Greg did say 3.
Yep. And I did not want Shane making these picks. He's going to draft after desperation to save his job. He's going to move up, get a quarterback. He's going to lose assets. He's going to try to get these big free agents that don't make sense, like a Brian Burns. And we're going to bring.
But here's the thing. You not only now have a GM who's on the hot seat, you have a head coach who's on the hot seat.
Yeah. And Dabs being a quarterback whisperer, I can make Josh Allen be good. Who can't make Josh Allen be a good quarterback?
Brian. Who? He became a better quarterback after Brian Daboll left.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Joe Brady's doing pretty good over there.
Yeah, Joe Brady ain't sucking.
I couldn't believe when I read this news. I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, this is just somebody. This is all cap. I saw it on Facebook first, and I was like, no, they didn't get these guys. These guys are just joking. I thought it was one of those fake news things. And it came into fruition. And I was like, oh, my God.
I thought it was April 1st. I was like, it's not April 1st. It's January. All right, people in the chat. I put the link in the chat. I have to give away a 100-year anniversary giant coin. I'm going to give this away for someone in the chat that comes on right now and tells me something good about the New York Giants.
Oh, God. Don't choke now.
Don't choke. Now, someone in the chat, the link is there. Don't be afraid. Come on here. Tell me something good, and I will send you, and I'll also send it with the little case that it comes with, the anniversary coin, because, it's 100 years of futility. You can have this if you can literally come on here and tell James and Greg and I something good about the New York Giants.
We're waiting.
It's great. Greg started off by saying the good thing is we had the number 3 pick, and I wanted to cut him off and say, yeah, but Greg, we had the number 1 pick a couple weeks ago.
We don't.
Just saying.
We don't.
Just saying.
Wait, we got Big Al, El Gigante.
Uh-oh.
Big Al. You're looking a little thin.
He doesn't want to show his face. That's how sad he is.
Big Al.
Yo, what up?
Tell me something good.
That's not good.
That's not good. Big Al.
That's not good.
Okay, Todd. Tell me something good.
What's good? Let's see.
Tell me something good. You can win the anniversary coin. James and I only took like 100 of these.
ticket prices will be lower.
No, they won't. They're going to raise them.
I was gonna say no.
Oh,
That's
They've already talked about raising them.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes.
It can't be.
And as
look.
Oh my God, I can see you.
Hey, here I am.
I always love when people that follow the show for so long that we finally get to like see people in person.
Right.
It's the greatest thing when we go down to the stadium and I run into people and I always laugh because when they come running up on you, you're like, I don't know which way this is gonna fucking go.
Word.
So it's all.
So they're gonna boost the ticket prices. I don't know, maybe that medium Pepsi might be 2 medium Pepsis.
It might be. It could be 2 medium Pepsi. Well, come on, give me something good though. Give me something good.
Man, I'm out of ideas after those 2.
How are you out of ideas already? I've been waiting all this time for you to come on the show, and now you're out of ideas.
Look, we already, the well is running dry. It really is.
Oh, the well ran dry and the horse died. At this point, you can't give me anything.
I'm out of ideas on those 2, man. It's not much. There's not much.
Don't go anywhere a second. I'm gonna bring in someone else from the show. Philosophy Stoner, man.
What's going on?
Give me something good. Another one I get to see in person. Give me something good.
The only thing I can say positive, Dexter Lawrence. That's it. That's all I have is Dexter Lawrence.
Do you trade him over the next 2 years?
Oh God. I don't know, man. That's a hard one because this guy had 9 sacks and didn't even finish a big portion of the season. You can't deny he's a superstar nose tackle who's unstoppable. But that's all I don't even know if I have anything outside of Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence. Guys,
I'm trying.
Do we give him Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, give him Dexter Lawrence.
We give it. Come on, we're gonna go around. Everyone, come on. Everyone's got to vote. Do we give him Dexter Lawrence? Come on, you gotta say it. You gotta say it. Come on. All right.
Yeah.
Do we give him Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, give him.
We're gonna give him Dexter Lawrence. James, do we give him Dexter?
Yeah, give it to him.
All right. You email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com and I will send you the 100th anniversary coin. That means I only have 97 more of these.
Don't be spending in one place.
You can't get a refund from Mr. Mara because you got 97 of them?
I got even more of them.
Mara don't do refunds.
Yeah, Mara does not do refunds.
Tim, I want to say something. You don't have to give me the coin. All I want you to do is please keep doing this content, even though we are trash as hell. Don't stop. You're doing God's work. You're the most honest dude doing this stuff. We love you.
Prophet, Tim.
Please keep doing
He
it.
is.
Please.
Yes.
Don't stop.
Tim, you have to.
I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop being a season ticket holder.
I don't blame you.
But like I've said before, people thought before I was mean and I just was unforgiving and you ain't seen nothing yet. Like I said before, any move they make, that's it. And it better be the best freaking move in the world. If not, I'm jumping on that like Zorro. And there will be a video. There might be like 8 videos a day. just to deal with this bullshit because I'm done. I literally cannot. I can't. I'm done. Greg, you look quiet in the corner.
Tim, this guy said, Mara came on and said, the report said, hey, do you think the roster's better since Shane took it over from Gettleman?
He said he has enough.
I'm not confident I can say that. And you sign him again? You keep him. How? They're flying banners over the fucking stadium. I've never seen this. I'm 47 years old. How? When?
First time for everything, Greg.
Nepotism.
I've never seen the Giants this bad.
I like it. We got to thank Big Don for giving out the 5 online Big Blue memberships to people that are in the chat. He's been gifting those out. Blazin, let me ask you a question here.
What's up?
If you are going into this draft, let's just say you have the 3rd pick. Let's just pull it out of nowhere, and you have 2 quarterback hungry teams in Cleveland and the Titans in front of you. What are we doing? What are you doing with the pick? Are you actually trading out of that pick? You trading up? Are you? Last year was the draft to grab a quarterback and a wide receiver. This is the year to drive a defensive lineman or a corner. But it's you have 30 free agents on this team on that 53-man roster. You're gonna have $60 million in cap space, but you have no roster and you have no quarterback. What do you do?
I'm putting out feelers for the highest bidder, because Cleveland is going to dumb out. They're going to get a quarterback, and then Tennessee's going to get a quarterback. I'm going to get the best player available if I trade back, not too far back. But then who's going to trade up for what? That's the problem. Like we're spaced far enough out.
Thank you.
To not get what we need. Just like last year, we needed a quarterback, but we had two go by us and not get it. So might as well go back, see what you can get, how many picks you can get players, playmakers that can fill those positions that we need to fill, then call it a day and build for next, and hopefully draft capital for next year. So yeah,
that's what you're in. Big L. Same question. What are you doing? What are you doing at 3?
Oh, I have no confidence with Shane.
No, what are you doing? What Shane's doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I need to understand how much can I get for that third overall. Who's going to be dumb enough to trade up to get Travis Hunter?
I think a lot of people.
So and then try to secure a first round pick for next year. I'm trying to secure a first-round pick for next year for 2026.
You trying to secure the number 1 overall pick next year, or are you going to get two first-round picks for 2026? I think we lost him there.
I just need to secure a first round, whatever that first round is. I'll keep their first round for 2025. But I needed 2026, just the way Gettleman did when the Bears traded with the Giants.
Philosopher, same question.
Man, I mean, I think both quarterbacks are going to be gone, and I think the only choice at that point might be Travis Hunter, which doesn't really move the needle for this team. We're still trash, so
just like
crazy.
I just like that we're still trash. I think that's the James. We're like the Super Friends.
But we actually are super.
We are like the Super Friends.
We have to get a quarterback, guys. Like, I hate to break it to y'all. Like, all this sounds nice if you actually had a competent GM, but we don't. We don't. So you guys are talking about you trust this guy to trade out of here, to trade with somebody else, to try to get compensation, to try to hopefully build for next year. He may not even be here next year. So he's not even going to be thinking that deep about it. We need to get a quarterback because for the past 6 years, we have not had a quarterback. We already have a disgruntled wide receiver that I see his chain more than I see his yak. And that guy's going to be mad sitting here another year without a quarterback to get him the ball. And I don't think Cleveland's going to take a quarterback. I think the Deshaun Watson fiasco is going to still be biting them. Their cap is going to be, I mean, I don't even know where it's going to be if they decide to actually cut bait with Deshaun and bring on a quarterback. So I don't think that Cleveland is dumb enough to take a Travis Hunter. We cannot bring Travis Hunter to New York because his girlfriend is going to run away from him, and that guy is going to go to pieces, and it's going to be a waste of a pick. And that's why you laughing, big bro, because you know what I'm talking about. Greg, big bro, y'all know what I'm talking about. His girlfriend is going to leave him for Micah Parsons, and he's going to talk about it on his podcast, and then Travis Hunter is going to be garbage. So we cannot bring Travis Hunter here. That would be a waste.
Real Housewife of New York. That's what's going to happen to her.
Yes, she is.
Housewives of MetLife.
So we need to move heaven, hell, earth, the universe to get a quarterback because I don't think Cleveland is going to take one. We cannot let somebody jump ahead of us and get that other quarterback. That's what I'm worried about. Is Shane smart enough to the guy who said, well, what did you say, Tim? Well, I think Chicago is driving up the price, and I think Philly's out of it.
Hold on,
so we got to get a quarterback, man.
Yeah, they're driving up the price there. I mean, but yes, because at this point in time, though, Cleveland will have a $72 million dead cap number in 2025 and another $72 million dead cap number in 2026.
They're not doing that, y'all.
They have
They're not doing that, y'all.
100 whatever, $48 million in dead cap space over the next 2 years with the Deshaun Watson. Greg, what are you doing? What are you doing with the third?
Well, I think like the gentleman James said, I think Travis Hunter's he's a great player. He's the best athlete. I didn't say cornerback or receiver. I said best athlete in the draft, right? But he's a little bit too soft for New York, and the media would eat him up alive and his girlfriend, like James said. So what I would do, I would send some feelers to Cleveland since they owe Deshaun Jackson 2 more years fully guaranteed, and try to get a Shador or a Ward. Or I would talk to the Raiders who love those big, fast, splashy players. And I did some calculations on the 7th pick where I think the Raiders pick or something like that. And I think that would take, we can get a second, a third, and something else I forgot. And so that can help rebuild our roster. But knowing Joe Shane, he'd probably do something. That's what I would do. I'm a little bit scared Joe Shane's going to overpay for the first or second pick.
Well, they always say the draft calculators. I mean, a lot of general managers will tell you that they throw out the draft calculators because your pick is worth what someone will pay you. So a lot of people follow that thing, but you look at the Mitchell Trubisky trade.
Right.
Chicago not only threw the draft calculator out the window, they broke it and ran over it.
Ricky Williams.
Look at Ricky Williams and his draft. Ricky Williams. So your pick is only worth, but this is not 2024. This is not a draft laden with what potentially could be Pro Bowl, all pro talent. At skilled positions, it's the quarterback and the wide receiver. So I'm kind of concerned what they could even possibly get. I mean, how far do you guys think they would trade out? If they traded out at 3, how far back do you think they would go?
7.
7. Greg? I mean, Greg said 7. Todd?
5.
5. James?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. We're the same team that missed out on Michael Parsons and Devontae Smith in the same draft. So knowing Shane, he'll go all the way down.
Well, Philadelphia leapfrogged us. That's what caused.
We allowed them to leapfrog us because we traded back.
Well, no, we traded back after they leapfrogged because they made the trade with Dallas.
Right. So they got. That's what I'm worried about with the jumping up for the second pick. But to answer your question, I think Shane. Let's say Cleveland and Tennessee both take quarterbacks. I think he'll drop. I think he'll drop out of the top 10. I think he'll drop out of the top 10 if he gets a good haul.
I think Philosopher may have frozen either that or he's just looking very statuesque. Because he hasn't moved in the last 5 minutes.
It's Daniel Jones in the pocket.
It's Daniel Jones Daniel Jones leading the defense.
Tim,
here's the real question. I'm sorry.
What? No, go ahead. What's the real question?
Who below us wants to come up to 3, and for who?
The Jets will do it. They're stupid.
Yeah, sucker is going every night.
Especially in Jetland.
Raiders.
Because the Raiders are so desperate right now after being year 2 into that new stadium that they need some excitement.
Right.
So I do. But you're right though. I mean this draft is just so weird though. I mean, I don't think. I mean the Raiders though are sitting at 6.
That's why we got to get the quarterback, guys. I'm telling you, we're sitting up here. I'm telling you.
Do it.
You know this draft is a defensive line draft and a running back draft. The running backs in this draft,
oof.
You know what? I only see the Raiders.
We don't value running backs here, guys.
No, we don't value running backs. We don't value because no one's going to pay a guy $12 million.
Right.
I still love that.
Unless they have
$12 million. Anyone has the cap space? I was like, oh, that's a great fucking answer.
No, we only value a running back if they have a cool nickname like Turbo and Motor.
Turbo right now is one of our free agents.
Motor.
You can't.
Motor.
We got Motor Singletary.
Motor and walk.
It's all good. Big Dog Super Chat says 3015, baby. 10-win seasons. We should draft Allen the 4th round to do it to back with a lot of mileage on him, but that he's an every down back. I just can't take a running back again. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm gonna put the link in the chat again. Does anyone have something good to say? Whoever can say something good about the Giants, you get the 100th anniversary coin. I mean, just look at that, man. I mean, you look at this and you're like,
look at that packaging, man.
This organization is class. This coin is so fucking cheap. It's not.
That's why I kept going back and taking them to go into different people. Like, what do you got there, Lisa? Oh, a coin. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I don't have 5 in my pocket.
We have a celebrity that wants to come on. You know him as one of the greatest linebackers in New York Giants history. Drafted in 1984 from Michigan. The one, the only, Dominic Palmer. Dom from
Don Juan.
It's Dom Juan.
Hey, Dom.
What's going on? Can you hear us?
Who's whistling in the background?
Oh, I had to mute James's mic again because they're keeping him locked up right now until he does something.
Could we keep Shane and Daboll locked up? That would go better for us.
I don't think it would go better because they might escape. They might escape and start walking around the store like the big Don as well. Don, you do not look happy. Don, we got Don and Dom.
It's not going to get confusing at all.
It's not going to get confusing at all with Don and Dom, but Don. Come in, Don.
You. Can you hear me? 1 2 1 2.
Dom, this is Mission Control. Dom, could you come in, please, Dom? We can hear you.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying Dom or Don? Are you saying Dom? Because you're talking about him. You're talking about Dom.
You're the one working. You're the one working. Don, what do you got to say?
I cried a little bit this morning. My stepdad texted me. He was like, he sent me he screenshotted. He says, "Are you freaking kidding me?" He said, "Again?" He says, "There's no way." I said, "Man," I said, "You know what?" I said, "Looks like it's another year that we're not wasting our money to go to Dallas and watch the Giants play again." I'm like, I refuse to waste my money on a bad product that you don't care about. Like I went there, you know, Tim, I'll go there like every year. I'll go to Dallas. I'll make sure I'm like in the rich people area to show the Giant colors, to talk trash. I can't even pride myself on doing that now because I'm not about to waste my time. First of all, just to get there on game day is going to be like an hour regardless. And I'm not wasting my money. Jerry will not get my money anymore to go to Dallas Stadium and look at a trash product on purpose. Not even on accident. It's on purpose. I mean, I thought Dallas was a dumpster fire laughing at them for the past couple of years, but then I'm looking at us like, what are we doing any better? Nothing. Like, I'm completely confused. The fiasco from free agents to drafting to releasing. And it's like, I'm sorry, Tim, I'm saying it. I'm going to say it. You're not going to like it. I miss Gettleman. I'm sorry. I said it, Tim. I miss Gettleman. I'm sorry. I said it.
Oh.
Okay, well, evidently Don has gone on crack.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Hey, Tim, that's all I can do down here at this point. This is all I can do down here is do that because it's hard. It's so hard right now, man. Oh, gosh.
Gentleman's looking pretty good right now.
Tell me something good though.
We still have one of the best nicknames out there. You know, Big Blue. We still got one of the best nicknames out there. That's a good thing. Great color scheme. That's good. I mean, I think that's good.
Well, yeah, if we were a woman, yeah, great color. Matches our shoes.
It does. Hey, I got a corn. Hey, you see, I got the orange and blue. I color coordinate all day, Tim. What you mean? Can't wear my giant stuff down here. Not with this fiasco.
At the end of the day, I'm going to ask you the same question that I got to get over to Dom. What are you doing with the 3rd overall pick? Don't say
if we can't get if we I wasn't gonna say that. That's like a 5th round pick anyway. At this point, if we get leapfrog for one of the QBs, trade down at this point. Because remember, we already traded one of our assets last year just for, Brian Burns. Well, what about him? We already traded our asset last year for a good 2nd rounder. So we might as well trade for more. But then my problem is, are they gonna draft correctly? Like, do you trade down and get more draft picks for the future that might suck because we can't evaluate talent? Or do you stay where you are and go for best player available? Like, it's such a cluster beep right now. It's a toss up. Like, can we not develop talent anymore, Tim? Can we not do that? Like I said before, these guys are going to different teams and doing something. Is it the coaches? It can't be talent evaluation. I don't know. But honestly, look, just take best player available at this point. You need something to be excited about. Something to be excited about for the offensive side besides neighbors. That's all I can say. QB, if you can.
All right, Big Dom. I'm going to drop you off there because I'm getting some.
Oh, wait, Tim, hold on. Hey, Dom, I got Arsenal to win the league. I got money on Arsenal to win the league. That's all I'm going to say.
I hate to tell you, mate. It's not going to happen this year.
All right, see y'all later.
All right, we had to drop Don. We had to drop Don off because evidently he's talking soccer now. Before he was talking other crazy shit. We have Don from Arsenal Domination, that wonderful new YouTube channel. We got Todd in the house. We got Greg sitting up here as well. I've always loved Blazing Brazen. I've always loved that. I just had to say I've always loved that nickname.
Thank you.
Only because of the fact that my one friend Brian years ago, back in the 80s, everything that he used to say was everything was blazing. And I just remember that to this day because he was like, "That's blazing, man. That's blazing." I'm like, "That is so cool to say." Dom,
it's a shame that Brian on our team isn't blazing, isn't
it? Dom, I've been watching your channel, and there's nothing blazing about it. Some guy is on. I can't understand half the fucking shit he's saying. But you know what? I do. Go. We'll follow.
Is it the accent?
I think it's the. I go on a live stream with Dom, and I told him the show is great except for all the fucking accents. So, but Dom, all the way from the UK. What do you got for us?
It's just going to be a quick one because I've got to go back to work in a minute. But I think the sad news about today is that it's not a surprise, right? I mean, how anyone can justify the decision to bring these guys back when it's been regression for year after year after year. 3 years of regression. We've not fixed anything. If we'd had 3 years of regression, but we fixed the cap and a couple of the draft picks, really looked like they were going to be something, then fine. But the reality is almost nothing we have done has paid off. Absolutely nothing. You just can't justify the decision to bring them back. But they are back. So I think the only thing you can do now going forward, I mean, surely the plan has to be now to basically tear the whole thing up. That probably means trading your best players because, you made the point earlier in your video, the likes of Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, by the time we get good, they're going to be retired. If that's a plan, I can get on board with it. The problem is, do I trust them to get that plan right and execute it with the right draft picks and right free agents? I absolutely 100% do not. And that's reality.
What are you doing? What are you doing with the 3rd pick?
Ask another GM to pick for us.
I don't think Philly's GM is gonna. I don't think Howie's gonna want to pick for us.
Do you not think he'd do us a solid?
I don't think Howie's gonna do that. I'm gonna vote no on that.
Couldn't we get that rookie down in Jacksonville to do it?
Oh, what's Jeff Carson?
Jeff Carson, that's it.
From the movie, what was the movie? Draft Day.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
We still quote the movie Draft Day, even though Dom and I have never seen Draft Day.
In all seriousness,
out going, what the fuck did I just get myself into? Where did everybody else go?
But I mean, what do you do with the third pick? I mean, the problem is, I think the two quarterbacks, and it's a 2-quarterback draft, are going to be gone, right? So we can say we're going to pay a quarterback and we're going to draft one. Well, who? Unless you're trading up, and I don't see why either the teams above us are going to trade with us, knowing full well they're not getting their quarterback. If we were say at 4 and the Pats were at 3, they might trade with the Pats, for instance, because they know they still be able to get their quarterback. But they're not trading with us because we're going to take the quarterback. So it's not an option to go up, and therefore I think the only option is to go down because we need almost every position on this team. But again, it comes back to, do I trust them to draft right? No, I absolutely 100% don't, and that is the big issue. So I think I'd probably trade down for assets. But the sad thing is, I think it could be 10 years before we see any kind of decent product on the field because these guys are going to get 2, maybe 3 more years, or they're going to do something damn stupid because they've been told they've got 1 more year and try and fix it in 1 year. This is not fixable in 1 year. This is a 3, 4, 5 year project. And if it's a 3, 4, 5 year project,
but we're already in year.
Why are we getting these guys?
We're already in year 4 of their project.
Well, exactly. So what we're doing, giving them 9 years, it's Daniel Jones all over again. Mind you, knowing these guys with the third pick, Shane will go and trade for the Vikings and go, hey, before he hits free agency, we'll give you our 3rd overall for Daniel Jones. I mean, I'm being flippant, but it wouldn't shock me if we did something fucking stupid like that.
It is the new Giant way.
I mean, obviously we won't do that, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. You might be. I don't. Honestly, now I have no idea. I have no idea.
In all seriousness, we'll probably go to free agency and go, hey, Daniel, we're paying you 40. Well, we can't pay you that anymore, but do you want to come back for 30? And then they go, look, we saved $10 million.
I mean, we still have Daniel Jones. There was a question here for both you guys. Giant fans are freaking out because Shane and Daboll, but there's no proven coach or GM available. Is any of you guys? I mean, I did a video about the GMs that I would bring in, but I could think of a couple coaches I'd like to bring in.
Well, Brian Flores is interviewing the Jets right now.
Yeah. And you know what the good thing is, and a lot of times a lot of these coaches that got fired immediately, it was because of the fact that they could interview Brian Flores, Ben Johnson, and a few other people because of the fact that they have the bye week with the playoffs. So they're jumping the head. Blazing, who would if they fired, I just sent you a text message. I'm almost done. If they would fire Daboll, is there anyone you would like to have brought in?
Mike Vrabel, proven coach, knows culture. Culture is winning. So much talk about culture, but culture is winning. He knows winning. I don't think he would put up with a lot of the BS that Shane would put before him because he is proven. Outside of him, even possible offensive coordinators, if you want to go that route. I don't want to go that route again. I don't want to go the defensive coordinator route. I want somebody that's proven already to come in and set things right.
I'm going to throw out a name that I think is going to get a job this year. Proven head coach, multiple destinations, Super Bowl winner. He yelled at me for 2 straight years. I'm Gruden.
I don't think it's going to happen, though.
No, not for the Giants. I think he's going to get a job this year.
Yeah, I think he probably will. He's not getting a job at the Giants because he won't be a culture fit after what happened at the Raiders, right? I mean, Giants won't take that risk. Right or wrongly, that's not going to happen for us, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him back in the league. I mean, I think that to the point here about there's no proven GM or coach, well, everyone, A, starts somewhere, but secondly, just because there isn't one doesn't mean that you don't make the change if this isn't working, and this clearly isn't working, right? We draft players every year. They're not proven in the NFL. Some work, some don't. And if they don't work, you change them. If they do, if they do, then great. I mean, you give them an opportunity to see if they can do it. Absolutely. But they've had 3 years and we've gone backwards, right? So I don't see why we continue with that. It's different if we'd gone forward year 1, gone forward year 2, and then this year went massively backwards because X, Y, and Z happened. That can happen sometimes, but we've gone backwards every year. Why continue? Just take the risk on someone, whether they're proven or not.
I love this from Greg, who just dropped off. Good news, we have the best podcast. Well, I'm not going to say that he's a little biased, considering he was just on it. We got people in the chat, especially who talk with Zoe, said Gruden would have been my number one. Love Gruden. It's Gruden. I'm telling you, you need a no-nonsense, no-shit guy. This man literally yelled at me from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. because his internet. That's how intense we need someone with that intensity. A guy that literally never left the fucking building. He would sleep in the building for days because of the fact that all he wanted to do, he built the Raiders, got traded to Tampa, got Tampa the Super Bowl, was rebuilding the Raiders till everything happened. And I've said it before, the emails, the things that were said in the email, irreprehensible, were wrong to say, but that's the culture of the NFL.
Right.
Nothing that he said and wrote in those emails, I have have heard in multiple NFL locker rooms. It's man culture. It's just the way it is. And for him, and the 800 emails, for him to be the only one to get punished.
Well, you're right. He shouldn't have said them, no question. And, they shouldn't be said in the locker room. But, as you say, he's not the only one doing it. And therefore, we either call it all out or we don't call any of it out, right? I mean, and we should be calling it all out. But as you say, he shouldn't be the only one punished. I mean, as I say, he's not coming to the Giants for that reason. There's no way. And I can understand that decision. But, I wouldn't be shocked to see him back in the NFL at all.
I come from a Marine family. And I've heard some things. I've heard some foul language. It was nothing compared to what you hear in NFL locker rooms. Nothing. And this the Marines from the 40s and 60s and 70s and everything else. You go to NFL locker rooms, you're like, can you really say that?
Right.
I can believe it.
But for the average fan, they feel like, they're not around that. They haven't been exposed to that life. They've never been in military. They've never been in a professional locker room or a college locker room. And at best, maybe a high school locker room. So they're not used to that. And even in high school locker rooms, it's not as profane as a professional locker room.
No.
So,
But Tim's point, though, about what this organization needs, it needs someone in that can come in and shake it up and tear it down and say, the culture's rotten, the players aren't good enough, it might be painful for a few years, but we're going to go through that pain, and this is what's going to happen. And in fairness to Shane and Daboll, I think that's what they intended to, but they haven't done it. They just haven't done it.
That's a great point, because this team, and to your point, Blazin, about Mike Vrabel, he comes from a culture. Yeah, it's the Patriots, but he also did build a culture with the Titans. He kind of went out on the wrong foot with the new ownership, but he was already out. He was already out the door anyways. And I think to Dom's point, maybe the culture here is rotten, and maybe the fact that we are allowing people that we're going into the touchy-feely society, that we're getting away from football culture as it was, because of the fact that we are trying to be more modern. Like Giant fans went freaking nuts when the Giants put neon in the draft room. We're going to be a better team drafting now because there's neon in the draft room. I was literally like,
yeah, but there's still a moron in the draft room. So what difference does the neon make?
There's no, that's the thing. There is no difference, but I got to go have lunch. Everyone's home.
I got to drop soon, but I mean, the last point, I can just make one last point, which is really quick, which is, I don't care whether it's touchy-feely or it's hard-ass in the locker room. I really don't care. But as long as the accountability's there, and that's what's missing, right? There is no accountability. This decision shows there is no accountability from the top. Absolutely none.
No accountability. Blazin, what's your final thought?
We got to end the nepotism. We got to get rid of Chris Mara, demote him and Tim McDonald.
Yeah.
They have to be demoted to like concessions management or something,
Right, hang on. Let's not punish the fans.
It's never going to be right.
I like that. Let's not punish the fans. I agree with Dom.
It's never going to be right until they get what you said, the fish stinks from the head down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the expression. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Mara has to look and say, hey, this hasn't really been working since what, 2014 or so?
This hasn't been working since 2013.
13 with a dramatic change in 2016.
Technically, this has not been working since 2012.
Right. And he owes Tom Coughlin.
2011. We have only had 2 playoff appearances since 2011.
Right. And he owes Tom Coughlin an apology. That's just to get the karma right. I don't even want to go there. We'll be here another hour.
We'll be here for a long
Thank you for having me on, Dom. Take it easy, my man.
All right.
I'll be in the background checking you. Thanks, Tim.
I appreciate you coming on, my brother. Thank you so much. Dom, I know you got to get back to work too. Tell me something good, man. Just throw out anything good.
It's been a nice day here. Weather's been good. I mean,
we got a snow day.
The only good news is that we're definitely going to have a new quarterback in here because all of ours are free agents. I mean, although we could bring them back, I suppose. And there's 30 players moving on. 30 players need to move on. There is an opportunity here to reset. That's the only good news. The question is, it comes like it's a dual-edged sword, isn't it? Do you trust the guys that are making those decisions to do it right? I'm not sure. Yeah. But the only good news is there is the opportunity there for them to get it right. That's the only silver lining.
This Roman says, bro, this British guy thinks he knows everything.
I do, to be fair.
Watch this. He does. 12 plus 6.
19, isn't it?
Right. He does know everything.
Hey, we didn't run half the planet, for many decades without something up here. That's a joke, by the way.
You saw how well that worked out.
Yeah, it's gone real well.
There was a Revolutionary War over here for something about that.
That didn't go well for us. Still haven't forgiven you for the tea, to be honest.
I had tea just now.
Hey, I just made tea and drank it.
I had tea because I got my cold, so I got some tea going on here. All right, Dom, I'm going to drop you off because I got to get out of here.
I got to go back to work, but I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you, Dom. I'll talk to you later, my friend. I saw something about Ray Perkins here, and I think it's interesting. Ray Perkins was the start. I feel like coming down the pike at all of us. John is a dummy. Ray Perkins was the start. Ray Perkins, Phil Simms, the 81 playoffs. Phil Simms was actually leading the Giants to the playoffs when he got injured and Scott Bruner came in. And, of course, Ray Perkins left after the end of the 82 strike-shortened season to go coach Alabama to take over for Bear Bryant. But Ray Perkins was the culture change by George Young. He was a young coach. And people forget, on the Ray Perkins staff, you had Belichick. You had Parcells. You were building a culture. And how many people came off the Parcells tree in that 84 team, even in the 83 team, and running into 86? You need a culture change. You need a culture shift, a culture direction. So make sure you hit the like button on the way out too, because I'm actually losing my voice here. And I gotta do a Knicks podcast as well. 81 team was the LT was on the 81 team too. And everyone talks about, and I don't want to get too far on this, but I see Greg was throwing this out there and Robert. Everyone talks about the 83 Giants and 3-12-1. I lived through that season. I was at every home game that season. But you have to remember, Parcells even said he did everything wrong that year by listening to people. But if you take a look at that team, you had Ron Earhart as the offensive coordinator. You had Bill Belichick as one of the assistants. You had Romeo Crennel on that team as well. Mike Popey was a great great tight ends coach was on that team. You also had the likes of people that were on the 86 team and Zeke Mowat, Brad Benson, Billy Yard. You also had Curtis McGriff, Jerome Salley. You had 4 great linebackers in the crunch bunts and Van Pelt, Kelly, Carson, and Taylor. You had Mark Haynes, who made the Pro Bowl. Terry Jackson, who was a good safety. Terry Kennard was a rookie that year as well. You also had Jim Burt on that team. I mean, you were already having the build. People forget Joe Morris was on that team. Tom Mulledy was on that team, was also part of the Giants Super Bowl. You were building a team. You had the talent on that team already that were going into that season in 84. The Giants roster has 30 openings. We have 30 free agents. Greg says, what would you do with the third pick? I don't know. I'm a Packer fan. We don't have the third pick. I'd take a quarterback. I love Cam Ward. I'm not a Shedeur Sanders fan, but I love Cam Ward. Culture is everything. If he is weak, he has another doubts, hard knocks, will let us know. I have to head out, guys, because like I said, I'm dying with this cold here, and I got to do a Knicks video. I got a Knicks pod thing I got to do in an hour. So make sure you hit the like button. It's been a lot of fun. So it's been the therapy session. I want to thank you've had hundreds of people and a bunch of people following us on Twitter as well. I want to thank Greg for coming in, James, T-Brad. I want to thank Brazen for coming in as well. I want to thank the Philosopher coming in. We want to thank the Big Dom, James Williams, of course, as well. I don't know, guys. It just is what it is. And we got to kind of just build through and keep walking through it and see where we end up. And we've had a garbage pile for the last 3 years. Take a look at the home schedule. We still have another garbage pile coming in. We may not win another home game. We literally, if you think about it, go 1-15 the next 2 years at home. But don't worry. Oh, Robert, and we told this story before. Robert, George Young did not pick. I mean, Pete Rozelle did not pick George Young to be the GM. That's a misconception. Even George Young wrote about that in his book. What happened was after the miracle of the Meadowlands, when Herm Edwards picked up that Joe Pisarcik and Larry Zonka fumble, Wellington Mara went to Pete Rozelle, said, is there any assistants GMs that you could recommend that we could sign to fix this mess? And then he recommended George Young. The NFL did not make the Giants take George Young. It's a misconception, but if you Wellington Mara wrote about that as well. All right, guys, you know what? I really want to thank everyone for hanging out. This is Tim Stewart, Giants Talk, powered by my Big Blue LLC. Appreciate everyone. Don't forget, we got a new Knicks video coming out tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And as always, I'm out of here.